Oh, we are on the subject press with Visitör.
Hi, I'm Dilly Briggs with the Subject Press, and today we're doing something a little bit different. Normally we are at a club, but today we are set up in my house, and we are having an interview today with downtown Joey Brown of Visitr. How you doing, Joey?
Good. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Now, originally it was going to be my partner, Sasha, who conducted this interview because Joey Brown and his band is someone that I grew up with. So I've known them forever. This is the OC metal band that I refer to in my bio that I grew up knowing all these guys. But there was a little emergency, so I'm going to be doing it today, and we'll try to be as serious as we can. We also happen to have Tony Stoneman, the drummer, on speaker with us as well. Tony, say hello.
Hello.
How are you doing, Tony?
Dilly, I am doing wonderful. You're a beautiful girl.
Aw, thank you. Well, now let's get together and talk about your band. Joey,
Yeah.
tell us, what drove you to start Visitr? What was the passion behind creating a band?
So what drove me was actually listening to Metallica when they first came out. I was playing guitar, just a bass guitar, when I was 14. And after hearing, well, I was listening to mostly AC/DC, Judas Priest, Iron Maiden, Ozzy, Twisted Sister. And when I heard Ride the Lightning, I couldn't believe what I heard. So I then right away bought Kill 'Em All, came back and listened to that. And after hearing that solo Cliff Burton did, I started using distortion on my bass, trying to play and keep up with him. And I said, you know, I got to get a guitar and just start from there and just start playing and keeping up. And that's how I started getting, I wanted that right high energy metal. That's what I wanted when I heard that. So that really motivated me to start that.
Nice, nice. And now Visitr did have a big popular following, not just local, but a lot of people came out to see their shows on a regular basis. And you had a lot of success. In fact, they had so much success, they opened and toured with a lot of major name bands out there. Can you tell us about that? And then, you know, and then we'll get Tony's take on about being, you know, on tour with these bands.
Yeah, sure. Sure. A lot of success we had was we were selling out the Troubadour, Orange, you know, places in Orange County like Jezebel's, California Dreams, and then we started opening up for bands, big bands that had albums out that really couldn't fill up in the whole arena. So we play at larger venues out here and open up for bands like, you know, we started with Lizzie Borden, Overkill, Nuclear Assault, Black Widow, which was Dee Snider's band after he left Twisted Sister. Testament was the biggest one we played with. It was great. I mean, Warrior and Sabotage. I mean, it was great playing with all them. And during that time, bands had to pay to play at locations, and we were at a point where they were paying us to play, which was very successful to us. Didn't cost us anything. Had a great time, and seeing the growth of our fans, everyone just, you know, that is just incredible. So, unfortunately, most of the success profited in other people's pockets, because over these years, a few years back, I went to see our singer Kurt, and he's in Utah now, and he showed me a stack of papers about 3 inches thick, showing about all the bootlegging that's been going on with our CD out in Russia, Germany, Greece, Japan, out here in the U.S. And just fortunately, we couldn't really take any legal action because we lost our Glassmaster copy. So we just kind of had to sit there and take it. So that was, I mean, we had a great success. I wouldn't trade those days for anything. It was a lot of fun playing with Visitr. Tony was, I mean, amazing. I cannot believe when we got Tony.
Oh yeah, Tony is like one of the best drummers ever. And speaking of which, Tony, what's your take on you guys touring with all these major bands and stuff? What was it like for you?
I would have to say Joey is one of the guitar players I've ever jammed with because I was looking for the crunch like Metallica. And Joey had such a rhythm that is second to no other. And when I started jamming with Joey, actually, I'll go back to the beginning. I took my drum set to Band West rehearsal studios, just to play drums because I play drums. And Kurt Schultz, came into my room when I was practicing by myself, and he goes, "Dude, how long are you going to be here?" And I said, I'll be here for like another couple hours. And he goes, "Can I bring somebody over here?" And I said, "Sure, I don't care." And he brought Joey over. And I just kept playing. And Joey and Kurt gave me a tape of 3 songs. And I said, "You know what? I like your groove. That's the crunch I'm looking for. And I want to be a part of your band." But before that, and you might find this unusual, but I auditioned for a band before I met Kurt and Joey, and my friend Tommy Cook helped me take my drums over to this garage, and I auditioned for a band called Butt Ugly, and that is the actual name of the band, Butt Ugly, okay? And that was Rob Smith's band, okay? And they were too guitar busy for me, and I told Tommy, I said, "Let's go pick up my drums and let's find another band." And that's how I met Rob Smith, but I also met Joey and Kurt and everybody else the same way.
Nice.
I was just playing, but I wasn't looking for a band. But a band was looking for me, and that's how I found Visitr.
Very nice. That's awesome. Actually, that's a little bit of new information. All these years, I had no idea you had auditioned for a band called Butt Ugly.
Butt Ugly would be a band should be in.
That's awesome. So, okay.
I have to tell you, Joey, when after I talked to Kurt and Joey, and I agreed to, join the band, Dan Miller, knew Rob Smith, the guy that I, auditioned for with Butt Ugly. When Rob Smith walked into the room, I said, "Dude, I know you from somewhere. What is it?" And we both at the same time said, "Butt Ugly."
Oh my God, that's awesome. That's so funny.
It
So
is.
you ended up with 2 band members from
Yeah.
Butt Ugly, who
Yes,
originally
I
were going to
did.
be trying to be in Butt Ugly. Butt Ugly, if you're out there,
Correct.
you're awesome because you brought my band family together for me.
Too bad the name's taken, so I couldn't use it.
You're beautiful, babe.
Oh, you're awesome, Tony. Now, we do have a few more questions for you guys. So let me address this for Joey, and then maybe you can address it afterward. Tell us the difference now, like in producing and making music when you guys first started out, opposed to now.
Yeah, that's a good question. Boy, back then it was back then it was all analog basically, and anytime we started with all the drums, we started everyone playing together like in a practice session. That way we get our drum takes all mic'd up and all set up. And this is actually where we got the nickname One Take Tony. You had every single song without one edit. I mean, from beginning to end. They never had to adjust the tempo on that machine they use. They use computers now for that. Stone is like One Take Tony, I tell you. And but back,
Congratulations, Joey.
All right. Anything we had to edit back then, got to rewind the tapes, find where it's at, start it up again. You know, like when I recorded Dreams, the first 2 minutes is a 12-string guitar. First time I ever played one, it took me 2.5 hours. Now, these days, and doing all this producing and stuff, it's just a click of a button on a computer. So much quicker, easier, cheaper, way more expensive back in the day and more time than it took. So that's the difference I see on all this, what's been happening.
Well, what about you, Tony? Because you are still playing in bands. A lot of these members still stayed in the music industry, and I know you still play a lot too, so you're still drumming out there. What about for you? What's the difference for you?
There's really no difference. It's perfection for me. I mean, I have to get the music in my mind. And I was in a, believe it or not, I was in a country band, a couple years ago. And I told everybody, I said, it has to be tempo, 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 and everybody has to be on cue. So that has never changed for me from Visitr to what I'm doing now. Everything has to be precise. So that's what I strive to make everybody do. Not make everybody do, but
you're trying to get everybody like on the same page, basically trying to get them all.
Correct.
So yeah,
Correct.
no, and that's what it takes though. That it does take that discipline for, band members to come together and do that, so definitely. And now, I mean, you guys had success for a long time. You really did. And they had a big following. They really did. In fact, Joey has a funny story he wanted to mention about that. About the following that you had. Because there was such a local following, so the band, so a lot of the venues were filled with a lot of band family.
Yeah,
members.
Tony, you might remember this one. I don't remember the actual. What's that?
I said, tell it to me, brother.
Oh yeah, okay. There was a big band we were playing with. Can't mention names,
No names.
but they did have albums out, and we were at Jezebel's, and the place was sold out. And
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that's funny. It's because we were the band always going on right before the big band, and when Kurt went up, started saying, "Hey, who's here to see Visitr?" And the whole crowd, everyone went crazy. And then he said, "Hey, who's here to see so and so?" And then dead silence.
I remember that show.
That band was pissed. That was kind of funny now. It's funny now, but it was something made me like, "Hey, let's not say that no more when we're on stage."
And but
Tell you who it was? No.
No, but it's a funny story, but it's just to show the fact that you guys had such, a following. You had such, a lot of passion and everything in this. And in fact, you inspired a lot of people. I can actually honestly say right now there is a bass player from the band 12 Gauge Embrace that I have been fortunate enough to do a few interviews with. They're amazing band. And Mike Nisson, the bass player, has directly told me himself that one of the things that got him into music is Joey Brown playing with Visitr. That Joey and your band are, an influence for what got him started into playing just because of the passion you had. So I can actually say that. You have a rock star that accredits, just your passion as being something that sparked a passion for him to play as well. So I
Julie, can I say something?
Of course.
What you're saying right now, that's what I try to do the best of. Inspire people to play music.
And just to keep it going, exactly. And on a personal note, I'm going to have to say, because my daughter wants to learn to play the drums, and we actually recently just purchased her drum set. And Tony, there's a possibility he might be moving back to our state, and if so, he's going to be giving my daughter drum lessons. So I'm really excited about that. She's going to get the best of the best. That's awesome.
Nice.
But again, I'm trying to keep this professional because again, it is my band family that I grew up with. So to get back to some of the questions, just to kind of close this out now, you guys had a lot of success, and you guys, traveled around and did a lot of things and had a lot of following. You've got a lot of merch stuff was out as well. But when it came down to the end, now we did talk ahead of time to make sure it was okay. The departure of Visitr. Now, what all was behind that?
Yeah, well, before I answer that, I just want to say, Mikey from 12 Gauge Embrace, man, I mean, I am so proud to see what you've done. I love seeing your band when I can get there. I love it. It's just incredible music. Keep doing what you're doing, bro. You'll be, you know, I'll see you up there. And as far as our departure, you know, when first, you know, we started actually 30 years ago this year. It would have been 30-year anniversary for Visitr. And boy, I tell you, and the musicians we had all the talent. We had the perfect talent around us that we needed. And Rob had decided, I think it was in '97, to go ahead and depart from us. And on good terms, you know, he's talked to us, and you know, we filled his spot a couple times, and it just really couldn't feel that one big giant feel with a guitar with another guitarist. It just, you know, I mean, like the guys we played with, it just couldn't click. And then when Tony was actually going to have to relocate up north, and right then that told me, I said, I'm going to have to quit. We can't do Visitr no more, because I couldn't settle for nothing less. Between Rob and Tony's perfection, there was nothing that was going to match that in close. And that was, to me, it wasn't going to be worth it. I'll take what I had, and all the years we had was wonderful. A great year. I met my wonderful wife during that time, and still married. And just, I tell you, it's a great time we had.
What about you, Tony?
The thing that made me depart from Visitr was, I'm going to be honest with you. We started replacing, after Rob left, you know, we started replacing, you know, player and singer, guitar player, singer, and I was like, you know what? This isn't the same heartfelt band that we had before. And I love Joey, I love Rob, and I love EK, and we all still, I love Kurt. We all still talk, but we went different, separate ways.
Yeah.
But we still communicate.
Now, I know, what about you, Joey? I know you still actually have a lot of projects going on yourself. So what are you doing now?
Yeah, I'm still starting to write again, and I got a lot of material writing, you know, for 10 songs again for another CD, and do it through Pro Tools once I figure out how that all works. But it could take some time, because I'm also doing other stuff. Actually, by the way, that music's just the high energy stuff too. I love it. So it's the same style. And other thing is, I've been doing mostly another passion I have is actually playing pool. I've been playing since I was 8 years old, and I'm playing international tournaments every year in Las Vegas. And I've been playing in the Masters for maybe 6-7 years now. And I'm an instructor. Been teaching a lot of students, a lot of them at a high level players. So keeping myself busy all the time, and on top of all my full-time job I do at work.
So, well, that's fantastic that you're still doing something. So, again, everybody in the band has actually, you know, been keeping busy with something in the industry as well, you know, or some type of creative industry as well, and that's fantastic. You know, so what do you plan on doing from there? Do you want to have another CD come out? You want to make another CD?
Well, I'm in the middle now between because Rob, you know, Rob Smith, Skylar from Visitr, he's doing his own thing now. He's got his own company. It's called SoulKings.com, SOLKings.com. He's producing music. He's writing music for several artists, and I'm thinking maybe if I can't do it with the band anymore, maybe just get the music recorded and sell it. You see what's out there. Any takers? It's
Downtown Joey Brown is available for soundtracks, for any themes for your movies. No, I'm just kidding. No, but that's fantastic that you're able to still, you know, do all that stuff, and you still have an influence, you know, in the industry as well. Now, we actually have a little treat. So